Hello, it's Andrew Eborn here again in Lives on Lockdown, and I have just finished, together with the brilliant RJ Gibb and Boban from Serbia, the We Are In This Together concert. So coming up after this break, I'll be live with RJ Gibb. Don't go anywhere, because I know you can't. Welcome back. Well, I'm delighted to say that my guest today is RJ Gibb, and we have just completed the We Are In This Together tour. Well, the live tour from your living room. RJ, it's great to see you. How are you feeling? Can you hear me? Connecting audio. There we go. There you go. I'll put you on as well. There you go. RJ, how are you? I can see we've got the wobbly bit, which works out well when we're connecting the audio. But are you live now? Can you hear me well? RJ, I can hear you. Come in, RJ. Are you connected? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. You need to speak up. Can you hear me? Let's have a look. Look out for the did you have any you need some earpieces? Hello. You were very good. Thank you. I love it. There you go. Well, look, this is the best interview ever. So you've agreed to everything, which is what I love. It's got to be brilliant. Well, it was a joy. We are in this together, is what they said. And can you hear me? We're in this together, but we may not be able to hear each other, which is always a thrill. So this could be. Have you got a button there or something you can press? Can you press something? Can you hear any audio? No, because I can hear myself. I think most people can hear me even without a microphone, but always good. No luck? I'll tell you what I'll do, RJ. I will. Oh, there we go. There's that one. You've got yourself on mute. Can you turn your volume up? No. Okay. I'm gonna pause this. Oh, you got it. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. Well, we're entertained while we're doing that. Let's have a look. It was a thrill to take part in this concert. What I loved about it, in spite of the technical issues that we had and various people from Serbia getting cut off, we did all unite and get behind the fantastic central message of we're doing this together to try and help not just the NHS here in the UK, but also the fantastic thing with Lifeline and Serbia. But before we help any further, are you having any luck, RJ?
Changing to built-in.
Oh, there you go. That's it. You've done it. I heard you. You're live. Welcome back. How are you?
That's good. It was because it was changed to 2-channel for SoundCloud.
We love it. The great thing about these sort of things is we carry on in spite of the technology. This is the new reel, which I love. We have just come off what was the most extraordinary experience. It's around this time that you're supposed to be doing your tour, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I knew that live streaming concerts like this were already something that was becoming trendy and such, but it's now become a necessity.
Well, it's a great way of people connecting, and what I really love about it is live and raw, and it's what I said during the thing with when we were online for some of the time with Serbia. It really was. It was like Live Aid light. So it was like that sort of tiny little bits and pieces. But there were a few things because we got cut off halfway through the main sort of stream that we didn't have a chance to chat about. And some of those were the plans that we have about KTT and what we want to do with the single and what we want to do with collaboration. So maybe what we should do is talk a little bit more about that. We had, and it was the first time, to be honest, that I'd met Boban, or Boban rather, excuse me, my pronunciation, my Serbian's not that good, you understand. But it's the first time that I've met him, was introduced to his work, and it was great. And what I loved, you both worked remotely on that duet. We pulled it together in a matter of hours before we went live. And it was an extraordinary experience. I loved it. How did you feel?
Yeah, no, it was great working with Boban. I look forward to further collaboration. So it's something that as you know, we've been talking about it before, about possibly doing some of the touring over there, both for charity and also.
Well,
Just,
what's been really interesting is now having come offline and had a chance to look at the comments from your performance together, social media has been set alight. The Twitter sphere is melting as a result of it, and they're all saying, how do we get more?
Yeah, that's right. All there's lovely comments from the BG fans and
which is really good, because it's all about the legacy. And one of the suggestions that people have, and I know we talked about this a little bit beforehand, is maybe getting a way of releasing that with Boban. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Well, it can be the live version, or you can have a studio album. So, I mean, I can sit down and actually do an album with him, remotely. We can record one.
Well, I love that. And Boban came on to me straight away and said it was so good to be able to have a chance to work with RJ as well. And he's totally up for releasing this as a duet. And he's, as you know, he's a massive star in Serbia. And he thinks this could be the start of something really very beautiful.
Great. Yeah, no, that's I'm fully on board.
Okay, so watch this space. We'll what I like about these raw and unplugged things is you see the whole mechanism behind it working, if you like. So let's get overnight, and I know people have lots of people have offered to distribute it and so on and so forth. All of the money, I think we can make sure the money that we would otherwise get can go towards the NHS and Lifeline in Serbia. So to continue to raise that for the charity, obviously we'll see what the record companies, the rights owners want to do. But from our point of view, I think that would be sensational.
Yeah, definitely. And on a last note to do with the music, we were supposed to, we didn't get a chance to speak about it at the end of the program, but about the song Juliet, which I've just re-recorded. Made a slightly more modern version of my father's hit, which as you know was a hit for 15 weeks in Europe, and there are still children, well, not children anymore, and perhaps some dogs that are long gone that were named Juliet,
right?
Because of, or Julia, as some of them say. I think there were a lot of Italian girls called Julia as well, because they thought he was saying Julia. But it became a whole. I mean, the German fans, for instance, if anyone sings Juliet, it's like when I was with my father at the. I was in the crowd watching my father. I was at the side, in the backstage, and the encores. There were about 3 separate encores for Juliet. And they would just be at the end. The way they would call back the encore is just oh, it's just that amazing.
And it was quite. I mean, again, we made reference to it during the actual show. Is that actually it was #1 for a record number of weeks in most of Europe, apart from the UK. But why was that?
Well, okay. At the time, my father had broken up with Barry as part of the Bee Gees. There were a couple of breakups, and they came back together. But one of the efforts by the man who basically gave them their big break, Mr. Robert Stigwood, he could always pull strings if he wanted to, and he wanted to get the brothers back together. So he did a few things here and there with the DJs, and got them. No one wanted to touch it in England or in Britain or in the US. But of course, in Europe, it's still legendary. So I think it can be an amazing hit here, and it can be an amazing club hit
No, no, I really like what you've done to that. You've taken what was an absolute classic and added your sort of twist to bring it all the way up to date. Because it was, I think, was it 15 weeks at #1 throughout Europe?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But it wasn't released because of the reasons you just mentioned, either in the UK or in the US. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, to Stigwood's credit, it worked.
Right.
They got back together.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is a good thing, of course, and of course they ended up bringing Juliet into the catalog anyway, you know. So yeah.
So basically played at all the different concerts and things like that, which is superb. So what a lot of people, and I say lots of the social media and things like that, say some of them haven't heard it before. Others are saying, we would love to hear RJ's version or get ways of doing that. I know you and I set up together KTT, and we're looking at various ways that we can do that. Do you want to tell people more about our plans?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, apart from sourcing eco-friendly and sustainable sources that we try and find that are recyclable, that are biodegradable, and that are fully compostable if possible. That's why plastics, the new bioplastics made of wheatgrass and such, made of wheat. It's the leftover wheat straw. That's I believe what they do is they take it and they take the sugars and they put it through a certain process that leaves just the cellulose that becomes a bioplastic that's completely BPA free, completely non-toxic, and durable. And that's just an example of some of the things that you know, like sports, coffee mugs, sports things, drinking, water bottles, and
So you're looking at we are looking at a whole range of products, not
but
just
you
on
can
music
find
stuff.
wines and fine foods, you know, right, from around the world, and unique and giftable items as well. That's one of the main things, one of the main focuses.
And you worked a lot. You were very, very close to your father, and it's very well documented. And it was always about looking for the finer things in life. And if you like, you're curating the different products for people. Is that the idea?
Yes, and not just fine, but fine and unique, and really one of a kind. And yeah, we wanted to not only source and retail things like that, we wanted to manufacture. So I'd say that, you know, you and I have picked up exactly where that left off with Redbreast. So right. I think we're and all the charity we can do out of this endeavor as well is always.
I think that's great, and we've tried. I mean, during these extraordinary times, we've looked at ways that we can help by funding, if you like, getting people together and looking at that sort of stuff, but also looking at some appropriate products as well, which may be necessary without these crazy prices that people are doing. So you're trying to do it, say, look, it's about access and so on and so forth. Now, a lot of details are obviously on the website.
Yeah, that's right. Well, as far as the charity is concerned, we are actually crowdfunding at the moment, as you know, on Facebook. So we will provide links for that as well. That's to raise money for ventilators and much needed medical equipment for the NHS and their relief efforts for during this crisis. So yeah, that's the kind of thing. I mean, at this moment, it's not only a worthy cause; it's necessary. You know, it's.
I think that's right. As we said during the live concert tonight, it's every little helps, and we know that people have given already, and so on and so forth. So actually, even just participate. Doesn't come and watch the content, just enjoy it for nothing. In the same way as Lady Gaga said, actually the big corporations will pay, but some people want to contribute something. So the remarkable thing that Captain Tom Moore did, for example, he basically personified the sort of cause, if you like, and the fundraising cause. And we try and do the same sort of thing. If people want to give something, that's fantastic. And we give the details on your website. We give the details on your Facebook page as well. But if you want to go to kttlegacy.com or legacybyktt.com, you get further details of the products as well. And we'll also put the links to, if you do want to participate, let us know. And if you do want to contribute anything for the cause, for the NHS and the vital funds that they need, we're going to put the details at the end of this as well.
Yes, and I might add that it's that crowdfund is actually called the KTT Legacy Coronavirus Relief Appeal, and it's in conjunction with the Masonic Charitable Foundation and various others to funnel this money where it needs to go.
And charities played a big part. I know it played a very big part with your father's life as well.
Yeah.
And he had quite a few causes close to his heart.
Yes. I mean, the irony speaks for itself. But he gave a lot for cancer research, and I think that's still one of the most noble. I think some of the most worthy causes are for not only cancer care and such in hospice, but also but research is the most vital thing, and for new experimental drugs and such. And also for Alzheimer's, I'd say as well. Is another. There's nothing I can think it's worse than losing, your mind or your ability to think clearly or have your identity. Well, so I think those kind of things are the most vital charities we have in our society. It's cancer, Alzheimer's, and at the and anything that is a crisis, anything that's going on in the world at this moment.
I think that's the key thing. It's not just about the commercial side, but also to make sure that everything we do also has a charitable aspect as well. So again, further details on the website. But for tonight, going back to the concert, what a great event! Wasn't that a laugh?
I'd say it was. Since I've been in lockdown, it's probably one of the best times I've had. So, you can only do so much in your room.
But and I think that's the thing. I think people don't mind that you're going to have the bits and pieces. They're going to be technical problems. The hamsters are not going to spin at the right sort of time, and we can come back and talk about it. What I love about this, and we'll do more of this. So we just discussing that this will be great to have these little chats. Whilst I haven't seen you for weeks, whatever it was, whenever the lockdown is, and we used to see each other every day virtually. And go through stuff.
I'd say I've found my child
on a daily basis.
Children, I'm
right.
I find just to pass the time, I play all kinds of games with them and make up characters with their toys. So you just find yourself going back into childland.
Right. No, it is incredible. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do next time. We'll look at the top tips for surviving in lockdown. I think that could be really interesting. But for now, I think that the key messages following this fantastic concert, what we should look at, we look at with Boban to see about releasing that single. And so we can give an update on that maybe next time or in a further edition of that. How does that sound?
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. For now, RJ, a real pleasure to see you. You take care, be safe, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Likewise, always a pleasure, Andrew.
Take care. Bye, RJ. Bye.